Hello, everybody. It's Lauren back again. We are interviewing another Build Carolina teammate today. I'm very, very excited because I have Kaity with me, and I get the honor to interview Kaity. Kaity's been on the team for 4 years officially this month, and yeah, tell us who you are, what you do now for Build Carolina, and let's start there.
Yeah, awesome. So, I'm Katie. I am the Chief Operating Officer for Build Carolina. And yeah, as you mentioned, last Saturday was my 4-year anniversary with Build Carolina. Started out as the program director for like one program in August of 2020. And since then, I have helped build another program. And this is my 2-year mark as the COO. So exciting stuff, and yeah, I'm excited for to like dive in a little bit more today.
Wow, 2 years since you've been promoted to that flew by. I will be
Yeah,
because I've been on the team. I've watched that part of your story, and so that's been really cool. And yeah, you've accomplished a lot in the role already in 2 years. Maybe that's why it feels so like much longer. Maybe like you've been in that role for the whole time. But yeah, okay. So what we've been talking about with the team is sharing a little bit about our favorite moments or some highlights or something that just gets you really excited when you talk about the work that we do. So let's start there and then we can kind of talk about how and why that happens.
yeah. Gosh, there are so many things that excite me about the work that we're doing as Build Carolina, about like my day to day. So picking out like, the few that come to mind offhand are, just the people that we get to interact with and see their progression of their careers is amazing. So there are still folks from like the first cohort of our apprenticeship program, Develop Carolina, that those relationships have continued now for, going on 2.5 years since they went through the program, and they stay connected, they stay engaged, they're volunteering. So there's just like this cycle of giving back and paying it forward that we see in all of our programs. So that is always very exciting to me. It's so amazing to see these folks who are anxious and nervous and just like don't know even like what's going on, but they just do the thing anyways. They stick with the program, they stick with the classes, and then at the end they're just this empowered, confident individual who then wants to like help the person that they were like 6 months ago or 3 months ago. So that is one of my all-time favorite like everyday mission moments and things that excite me. And then I just love being able to, as COO, help support the program coordinators in the programs from a little bit higher level. So to work with both of the program coordinators, to meet with them on a weekly basis, and to see and support their growth as they're growing their individual programs, but then also growing as like professionals and individuals, and just to see how far they come in such a short amount of time. I mean, we do have absolute rock stars like Kara and Pat. So, they already are kind of performing at a higher level, but just to see them over the course of, they've both been here a year now, a little more than that for both of them. And it's just amazing to see like what a supportive environment and a supportive team can do for an individual, and like their growth just is exponential from where they
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but between both the folks that we serve and these really stories, I mean, we have hundreds of stories that we're excited to get into and share along the way as well. But their stories have this cool thing. I think there's like some unexpected, um, like tech unlocks these doors to then find out these really interesting things about people that I like you have no idea until you get like this tech learning and getting into things that you don't know what's happening. You have no clue how to do it, but like getting into this thing and working on something together and really digging in on something, it's been a cool journey to find out things about people that are just unbelievable. The
yeah.
stories just yeah. So I'm excited for us to share more of those. And if you want to go meet Kara and Pat, You can see their videos also. They're a lot of fun, and they really are exceptional people, great teammates.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better team in general. And I'm biased, but it's truly,
It's true.
truly amazing. And we are, I think that the mission moment or the thing that excites you is what excites a lot of us. And I think that that drives our culture and it
Yeah,
shows,
for sure.
which is cool. Okay. So you mentioned we have like a lot of things that we do. We haven't really dug into them yet, but what do you have your hands in now that you're working on that you're figuring out? Like what are
Yeah,
you in the midst of?
in the thick of. So yeah. So as the COO, I have my hands in like several different things kind of always. So right now, the most like thing that's taking up the most brain space or brain power are the exciting expansion of Develop Carolina. So that's our apprenticeship program. We just got two new grants for that program, and it's going to allow us to grow it really exponentially. So a lot of my day to day is just like, how do we do that? How do I support Kara as she does that, and the rest, and Chris as they figure out how to grow and take on even more apprentices and more employer hosts. So that is where my brain is a lot of the time, as well as we are about to go through some cool shifts with the Carolina Code School program. So we are planning for a really refreshed 2025. And so with that comes all of these possibilities of, potentially offering remote, expanding to different tracks. So all of these things, there's just so much forward momentum that it's both like terrifying to an extent, but also so exciting because there's so much that we could do. So it's more of a figuring out what the best like course and path forward out of all of the options that we have is, like, which one is the right one and which one is going to serve our learners and our community the best. So that's definitely like always top of mind for me, and then some fun budgeting things.
Fun budget things,
Yeah.
understatement. Or like if you work on budgets for your teams or your companies or your organizations, like you get the little bit of tone there. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
it's fun and exciting and it's necessary work, but I'm sure it makes your eyes cross.
Yeah.
And but I do, yeah, on that we have expansion. Like it's been cool to watch the Build Carolina team. We're about to turn, oh my gosh, what we started in 2017, so we're going to turn 7.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're turning 7, and that with that this past year, if it's been like solidifying a foundation and really gelling as a team
Mhm.
and getting to know the people who are coming into our programs really, really, really well. And we've always done that, but it's just been that's been kind of like where we have been this year. And then now, because our team grew to 7 or 8 now.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to add where we stayed a smaller team for years. And then we had an expansion as a team.
Mhm.
Then we got to really settle in. And now we have an expansion opportunity of programs. And it's just cool to watch that happen. And you don't really know, um, it's what happens today that really sets us up for what's coming in the future. And sometimes it seems so small and it doesn't matter, but it all matters, and
Yeah.
it really has added up. So 2025 really is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of challenges, a lot of things that we need to figure out that we would love to hear. If you're in South Carolina and you're looking to get into tech, like we are
Yeah.
here to serve you. So yeah, like our team is here for you. The other thing I want to hear is we've been sharing like fun facts about ourselves.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear if someone were to meet Kaity, like what's something that's fun or quirky or unique about you that you could share that people can know about you.
Yeah. So I will say that this fun fact is probably coming up on an expiration date because it was pre-COVID, but it's like I feel like I'm rather boring. So this is like usually surprises people. So this is like my go-to fun fact, and will be until someone tells me I should stop using this. But I played roller derby for years under the name Betty Clocker. So that is something not a lot of people know about me. And yeah, did that for years pre COVID. Um, and that's probably the most interesting thing about me
Okay,
personally.
how did you pick your name?
So I picked my name because I love baking. So that is like something I do as like a stress reliever. I had like a very small business on the side at one point in time, just from my home. Of I'm the family baker now. Like birthdays, that's about as much as I do. But so I was trying to think of like I had some names like Slam Jackson was one. Susan B. Slamphony was an idea. Like but I ended up on Betty Clocker as kind of the good combination of passions of mine, which is baking and then also knocking people down, or more frequently being knocked down.
Yeah, I was like amazing because I think that really it's so funny. If you met Katie in our world, like if you've met her in the Build Carolina realm and or professional space, you'd probably be like, that would never come across your radar that you are Betty Clocker, or have been. And yes, that stays with you. You're always a Derby girl.
Yeah,
You
I
are.
think
That's just
so.
how it is. Know that about Katie when you start to interact. Which is cool. Okay, so that's fun, personal. So, like, what about you've talked about what you do for Build Carolina and what you've done for some of the work that we do, but what professionally, what else are like some professional highlights for you?
Yeah. One of the things that I love most to do is actually speak. So I know like public speaking, I think is what like the number one fear like that most people have. And I just like thrive off of that environment for some reason. So maybe I'm weird, but I love the opportunity to get to speak about the things that I'm passionate about, which there's so much overlap with what we do as Build Carolina. So sometimes I represent Build Carolina. Sometimes I am just representing, Katie or me as a board member for Charleston Women in Tech. But I get to speak about exciting things like diversity in tech and non traditional career paths. And I most recently gave a talk about like embracing the Gen Z workforce. So, like,
Hmm.
work is changing. How do we, as the employers and the company founders and owners, like, how do we adjust what we're doing in order to engage and embrace all of the good that Gen Z can do given the right environments? So,
Yeah.
I love like an opportunity to just like get up and share, and hopefully just like if a few like little light bulbs will go off with some folks, then I feel like I've like accomplished my goal in that.
Yeah, I will say that you are very well spoken, well planned out, well researched, and then you're hilarious
Oh,
on
thank you.
stage. So I do remember like you had a lightning talk, and even though it was like how many minutes you had, you were
5.
still able to squeeze some humor in. And it's just like it's really fun to watch you put together a presentation and speak. So yes, we're happy to support you in speaking. You're really good at it, and yes, it's helpful when you don't have that thing that we others may have of like, hey, you're speaking to a room full of strangers,
Yeah.
and you just get up there and do it anyway because it's important. Yeah, like you said, if you're passionate about it and it's something you want to do, you oftentimes just kind of embrace the
Yeah.
uncertainty and just go for it. And that's just one of those hallmarks of like Build Carolina, the people we meet and the people we get to serve.
Yeah.
Just like, yes, it's hard, it's scary, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna do it anyway because we
Yeah.
just have to. We just have to.
Right. And that's what we instill in all of the people that come through our program. So if we weren't to do that personally or professionally on our own, we got to walk the walk if we're going to talk the talk. So,
Yes, yes. Okay, well, this has been so fantastic. Thank you for sharing some time in your busy schedule, and thank you for doing the work that you do and supporting all of us. Because I know you spoke about the program coordinators, but you support our entire team, and you're just you're a great COO to have. Happy to have your leadership on our team, and excited to see what 2025 is going to bring for us.
yes, thank you so much. This was awesome. I always love to get to talk to you. Thank you for doing all of the work to like interview our team and showcase our team. It's so cool because like we're behind the scenes so much. So to have like all of the team members kind of shown off in this way and really give that insider look into all the things that we're doing has been really cool. And there's no one better to do that than you, because you're just such a natural of like interviewing and putting together some amazing content. So thank you for all that you do.
Hey, thanks. All right, until next time.